Moise, this is the second session. So, Moise, you can still remember that format, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And you still recall this is a for loop, and this is just an if statement, and this is the expression, the resulting expression that will create something for us. And this is a key, and this is the value. You know how this translates to the real, because this will really solve your any misunderstandings that you have. So for x in numbers, like that, and then if we put our if statement, if modulus 2 equal 0, then put x equal, so if we define D as a dictionary, so we can put D here, we put x, and we put the value x to the power of 2. Does this make sense? So this line is actually this.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. So it means that if you see a normal, okay, then if this makes sense, then we should go directly to his examples, because his examples is slightly complicated. Not complicated, but need some thinking. So, but if you understand the basics, then you should be able to solve that. So now tell me, this is example of 2 questions. So create a dictionary comprehension that converts a list of strings to a dictionary where each string is a key and its length is the corresponding value. So are you able to tell us? So he's asking to create a list of strings to a dictionary. Okay, a list of string. So string 1, string 2, and so on. Okay, so this is a list of strings. Okay, we want to convert it to a dictionary where each string is a key and its length is a value. So as I told you, if you are confused and you are not able to make this kind of format directly, so you can just use a typical for loop like that.
Or you just have to loop through the list, right?
Yes, you have to loop through the list. Yes, so you have to. There is a for loop here, and then you have to use the output of the for loop here to create your expression.
The dictionary too.
You have to put the key part and you have to put the value part. So it means that you always have to make something like that, looks like that, to be able to create a dictionary. So tell me, how can you solve that?
So first you have to.
This is a list, and let's call the list as S. Okay. So tell me.
For string in S or something in S, right?
Okay, fine. Yes, perfect. What else?
We have to set equal to a dictionary, right? Yeah. And then we have to put the key, right?
Yes. What is the key?
We just, if it's.
He said the key, each string is a key.
So it would be str1.
Okay, yep. But should we put here str1, or because this is looping through the string, right?
Oh yeah, so you could just do like whatever item is in the string.
So should we put str or str1?
Str.
Okay. Okay, and then here he said its length is a corresponding value. Okay, now how?
Len something.
So we know that string is actually referring to string 1, string 2, and so on. So to get that, we have to put length.
Len is the same length of the string too.
Okay, so like that, right? So
Okay.
now how to convert, this is a typical for loop that can do the job, but now how to put that here as a list, a dictionary comprehension.
It's the same thing, right? We just have to put it in like for something in list or for something in S,
Okay, and here,
and then you would put D.
okay, D,
Wait,
okay.
D's, yeah, the dictionary right there, the D is the whole thing. It's for some, you have to set a key value, right? So it'd be
Yes,
str,
again.
it'd be str, right?
Yes, perfect. Yes, good.
And then the length.
Yes, perfect. Amazing. Yes. So that's it.
Okay, the same thing makes
Ye-
sense.
Okay, good.
Gotcha. Okay, so now that's basically the same thing as a for loop, but you just have to write it out.
In the proper format that is suited out for dictionary comprehension. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And of course that can, so this is the simple form of that, but
Uh-huh.
it means that he sometimes will ask you, he will complicate you and ask you to make it with an object.
Okay.
So let me share with you. So if I change the slide here, I if I come here, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So here is typical of what we are trying to do, but in a slightly complex way. Why?
Uh-huh.
Because if you can see here that he is trying to use objects. So last time, just now, we use a string, right?
Uh-huh.
And the length of the string. But now he wants you to put objects as part of. So
Yeah.
this is a
And then we
dictionary,
have to use the
T.
employees list,
Yes, so this
and
is,
then the method description too, right? So then that's how you add the is part-time.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. So he's using it with objects. So exactly employees is the same like the list of strings.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So he just loop through it like what he's doing here.
Yeah.
This is exactly how I've done, except
Yeah.
that, yeah, this is the tricky part. Okay. Is it clear?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
We
this
can move
makes
on.
sense.
Okay, good. So I believe if I move here, okay. Mm, So before I share with you generator expression, so actually generator expression is actually kind of looks like list comprehension, but um, with a slight difference. So look at it here, please. So you can see here, you can see this square list. So this is a
Mm-hmm.
list comprehension with a for loop, and we get the x, and we raise it to the power of 2, and that's how we create our list. So tell me, just tell me how many values that we have output here. So the square list will have a list at the end.
Mm-hmm.
What can be the output here?
The range of 5, right?
Yeah, but the range of 5 that is raised to the power of 2.
Uh-huh.
So
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 1.
so first let me put it in a simple way. Range output, how many numbers? Range
Supposed to
5.
be 5, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So 0.
We're supposed to multiply or raise to the power of 2, right? Each number.
So again, we have the range produce a list of numbers to us, and that numbers will be raised to the power of 2. So when you try to raise 0 to the power of 2, what is the output?
Well, 0, right? Or 1.
Yes, 0.
Or 0, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so 0. And then when range give us 1, okay, and this one come inside x, and x will be raised to the power of 2. So 1 to the power of 2.
1, right?
Yes, okay. And
4,
then when once, yes, okay, perfect. Now, okay, good.
9, 16.
And then 16. Okay, so that's output of that square list, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that square generator is not different from what we are saying. It's exactly the same.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Exactly the same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So but the difference here that he is able to use, I mean, it's not, so you see the square generator and then come here to the for loop. So he's able to say square in square generator. So he generated a specific list of a kind of tuple, because he put it in between normal brackets. So he do exactly the same. So this will be 4, 9, 16, and then he used that to loop through the square. So for
print the numbers again, right?
yes. So he will just print out the numbers again.
Okay.
Okay. So does this make sense so far?
Yep. That makes sense.
Okay, good. Then let us have a look at what he is giving you. Yeah.
That's the same thing, right?
Yes, it's the same thing, but I want to show you. Yeah. So yeah. So what I want to say here, yeah, give me a second, please. Do you understand what he writes here? Here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, perfect. So it means that we already covered the 3 topics here. This comprehension.
Wait, could you go back for a second?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's saying for the number in the range, the x to the power of x part, that's the confusing me.
No, but wait, this is not to power. This is only one asterisk. So one asterisk means that it is multiplied. It's not raised to the power of 2. It's multiplied by some. It is the same. It is exactly the same, but it's just using a different method.
Okay.
So,
I see. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it just different, just slightly different, but it's the result is the same.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, good. So we covered here. Okay, let's go to testing. But I would, yeah, the testing here is slightly not so. So I would say I will test you. I will try to test your understanding with cues and unit testing at the same time, just with one exercise. So let me share with you, and then you tell me how we can try here. So testing, I believe. So previously we solved. You still remember when we solved previous exercise that that he tested that giving a name, and then you test that the name is according to a certain standard, which is the capitalization of each letter. We solved that. You still remember that, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. So I would like that, not this one. Let me see here. Let me see here. Mass operations. No, let's go. So I would prefer that you try to write that on your own, even if we try to make it slightly faster, but testing you didn't do too much. So, or what do you prefer? You prefer to write code or how?
We can write this together, or what do you want to do?
Okay, sure. Okay, so can you say, okay, write a unit test class for the employee class, which has attributes name, age, and salary. The unit test should cover the following scenarios. Check if the employee class can be initialized with the valid values for name, age, and salary. Check if employee class raises an exception when an invalid value is provided for age. Check if the employee class correctly calculates annual salary based on the monthly salary. So this is just a simple class employee. Okay, and then here, of course, I'm not testing you here in how to create a class, because that is should be already known to us.
Yes.
Okay, and so I will provide name and age and S, which is a salary. So I would say self dot name equal N, and dot age equal A, and dot salary here equal S. So the thing here that you need to create a test class for that. So what should we do? So class. Now what should we write?
Well, you need to.
So always when we, so if we testing employee, if we testing a mass a class, we say test mass. If we testing employee class, we say test employee. If we testing test a circle class, we say test circle.
Okay, that makes sense. You just say test employee.
Yes, we can say. Okay, and then what we write here always is, so we always have to import what?
Unit test.
Yes. Okay. So this unit test, we also need to include it here. So we have two parts here, one here, one here. So we have to use unit test dot something. Do you still remember? Unit test dot. No. So okay. I would.
Or do you have to do a dot something from unit test?
Okay, I would. Let me. Can you see here?
Test case. Okay.
Test case. Okay. So actually, what I'm trying to do with you now is that I'm trying to squeeze your brain to think about something, and then I'm trying to make your eye get it, so that you are getting by your ears, and you're getting your information by your eye. in the hope that it will somehow stick to your neural cortex, which is your primary memory. Okay.
Yep.
So it's not that I mean, yes, I mean, according to neuroscience, this should work.
Yeah,
Okay.
it works for me.
Okay, good. So okay, perfect.
So you said
So
unit test dot test case.
yes, say test case. This is as a short because we don't have too much space. Okay, so let's see. So first, can we use setup? Do you know why we need to use setup? Can you still remember?
So
okay, so setup is okay. As you can see here, employee class, it just got no values inside. And the way we use unit test is that we assert equality. Assert equal, it
yeah, I
means
remember we
that,
talked about that.
okay, perfect. So it means that if I say employee here, and then I pass.
You just have to put assert two values equal to something.
Yes, but setup is to give the values. So I would say, yes, I would say employee name here is A, and his age is maybe 1, just for testing, sake of testing, and then his salary is 10. Okay, and then I would say, let us move here. Okay, so I would say define. He said what? So he said, check if employee class is initialized with valid values for name, age, and salary. So valid. Okay, no. When we want to test that, so we have to write test underscore. So how to do that?
What do we have to test?
We have to test according to what he's requiring from us.
So check if it raises an exception when the invalid value is for age.
Yeah, self dot assert equal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then how to assert that?
We have to, which it raises an exception when there's an invalid value for age.
Yes, but this we can use this raise, except you're correct. We can use raise if there is an invalid value, because he's saying this here, but we are trying to here to check the initialized values is valid. So it means that we want to know the code that we write here is correct. It means that sometimes you will write here by mistake when you are so you might end up writing the name as S. You will never know. How can you know? How can you know that you didn't do a mistake when you are writing? Actually, that the unit test is here to test that your assignment, you put it correct. You might end up, you are busy or something, or very fast, and instead of writing here N, which is for the name, you put S, and then N is not assigned correctly. So when you put A 1 and 10, you want to confirm each is correct. So how you can do that here?
You have to pass the name and all of those things in there.
Yeah, yes, this is one of the way. Yes. So okay, since we already set up E and we as an object of type employee with certain values, so we are able to come here and say self dot E, okay, and we are able to test the name. So we test the name equal A. Have you seen that before? We haven't seen that before.
Yeah, we did that. I think I remember. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the reason that we already set up this kind of thing. So you can do the same
So
with
then you do the same for age, right? If the
age
is
and for
something.
even salary. So
Okay.
you will put every value that you assign here. You
But then
want to
you have
make
to do
sure.
it to its own test.
Yes, I mean, no need for own test, but just you can put them a few lines on top of each other, because since
Okay.
he already said valid values for name, age, and salary.
Okay.
Okay, and then if you want to test with raise exception, so
But like it's which specific exception is it asking for age?
I would say, let me share that. So actually, age is a specific variable that can only take a certain kind of numbers. It means that we are not able to give a negative number to the age, and we are not able to give thousand. So this is a kind of, okay, we are not able to give an age of 1,000. It doesn't make any sense here. So
Yeah.
the reason for that, let me share with you here. So if you can see here, so we are checking that it raised value error if you give -5, or even, yeah, so if you give
Okay.
-5,
Just testing it with like any numbers, right?
yes.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay, but again, that, of course, in this case, you will not be able to raise any errors because you never put, if you didn't set up your employee um, class to raise errors, when you're not doing any checking here.
Uh-huh.
But this will only work very well if you coming here and tell, before you assign the age to the internal variable of the class.
Uh-huh.
So you will say, okay, the age have to be in between a certain range, that from bigger than 0, for example, and maybe less than 110.
Yeah. I remember in my last assignment we did that with something with like 0 at the end.
Yes.
Yep.
So but in the current situation, it will not raise any exception, and you are able to assign any value to the age. You are not checking anything. I'm just
Okay.
but again here, when you are writing a proper code, it means that your code should check. You should not accept negative numbers for age. So that is the reason that typically unit test is used by testers to make sure that your code is able to cater for any key in and key in errors, and
Okay.
you are not able to, you only accept the correct things. So this is why we write unit tests, to make sure that your code is written correctly. So if this test fails, it means that you didn't write the employee class correctly, just in short. Okay, so
Yeah.
that is the main reason. Okay, so
Makes sense.
now okay, before we move out from here, so look at please at the last requirement. Check if the employee class correctly calculates annual salary based on the monthly salary. So
Yeah.
you assign here a salary like we put here, right? So to be able to calculate that, you multiply it by 12, and then you check it. So you assert equality. So test calculate annual salary, and then
Okay.
you get so
So
since here,
5,000 times 12.
yes, so you test that you do the calculation here correctly. Maybe when you are writing here, you forgot to, instead of putting a multiplication, you put a plus. Okay, so when you do the assertion, so yes, you already know that you pass. So do you want to continue, or we just continue the few minutes remaining? You still need to.
What were you saying?
So should we close and open again, or we end it up here?
What would you say we still have left to cover? Because I was thinking we could meet tomorrow. Let me see my.
You still have exceptions. You still have yeah.
What else do we have left to cover?
Pop, 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 pop. Let me see. GUI, string var, a few things.
We can just keep going with the slides.
Yeah, sure.
We can do it for at least 30 more minutes.
Okay, sure. Then close then.
Okay.